Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video, and today we're going to be talking about every movie I watched last week. And if you're curious to know what I watched throughout the week, go check out my letterbox with the link in the description, and let's get into it. Going to be talking about a few different movies and some really good movies this week, and also a few bad ones. Starting it off with, of course, my least favorite watch of the week, which was Madame Web, which I'm glad I finally got around to watching. I'm glad I didn't watch it with Mel as well, especially because for a while we really did plan on going to see it in theaters, and then Mel just didn't really want to go, so I just never went. The fact that I'm ranking this movie as 17 out of 100, and honestly, it was better than I thought it was going to be, is really sad. I do think it's worse than Morbius, but it's just this one. This one, honestly, I don't even think is that trash. Like, it's trash, don't get me wrong, but like, I didn't think it was as trash as I thought it was going to be. And it's definitely not the worst superhero movie ever made, either, in my opinion. There are far worse than that. Like, there are probably at least like half a dozen that I could think of that I have ranked lower than this one, I'm pretty sure. So overall, I mean, not a good movie whatsoever. And I really just think this is kind of a disrespectful movie to Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Ben Parker as characters, which I feel like that's where a lot of outrage should be towards, because it's just stupid that it's yet another Sony-verse Spider-Man movie with just no Spider-Man. And, I mean, you know, whatever. All the power to them, I guess. We'll see what Kraven and Venom have later this year. Those will be interesting, I'm sure, as well. So, let's just move on. Up next to Despicable Me 4, I believe. That's correct, yes. Yes, Despicable Me 4. So, this one is actually very fresh. Mel and I just watched this. We only got home about 40 minutes ago. So, yeah. I don't think this is a terrible movie. I don't think it's a great movie by any means. It's getting a 44 out of 100, a 2-star, which is like the best it could be as a 2-star for me personally. I mean, is this movie bad? Yes. Is this movie great? No, but there were some good things and there were some really bad things. Mostly, some positives. I'll start with some positives. I did think this was funny. I think it's probably the funniest in the franchise. Of course, the soundtrack, just like all of these movies is absolutely insane. But this one really just pissed me off because this one seemed like the most of a money grab for, of course, these movies do so well in theaters. Kids love these movies. And obviously, these things sell toys, especially Minions. And I'm watching this movie, and all I can think of is that was made so it could be sold as a toy. And that's exactly what I thought of the Super Minions, I guess, which is just kind of stupid in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think it's a terrible movie. I know Mel enjoyed it. I haven't seen if she ranked it yet or not. I don't think she has. But yeah, I mean, just not a good movie, in my opinion. So, with that being said, let's move on to Despicable Me 3, which will be continuing the trend, of course. That is a big theme of this week. We wanted to go see the fourth one, so we didn't watch the Minions movies, I'll let you know now. And I'm glad. I don't know if I could sit through those again. So, anyways, Despicable Me 3. It's definitely not a great movie. I also have this one ranked at a 44 out of 100. I really can't decide which one I prefer, whether it's 4 or 3, because at times I thought 4 was better than 3, and at times I thought 3 was better than 4. So I just feel like an accurate ranking for both of them is that same rating. I feel like that's just the best way to describe it. Now, I don't really care for Drew as a character, obviously. It would be really great if this movie was great. Definitely the best part about this movie is the amazing soundtrack. It's a crazy good soundtrack, but I don't really have much positives to say about this movie. So, with that being said, let's move on 2, Appleseed Alpha, which, if you've heard of this, honestly, good for you, because this is a movie I've literally never heard of. Hi, kitty. And yeah, I don't know. I seen this was on Netflix. I literally just randomly clicked on it, to be honest. I watched the movie, and I mean, here we are, you know. I didn't think it was anything special, of course, by any means. It's getting a 60 out of 100, so definitely nothing great, but I will say it was very cool to see this style of animation, because I've never seen animation like this where it literally just looks like the entire movie is from a video game. It honestly just looks like a video game cutscene, the entire movie, which I thought was cool. I thought the animation was decent for the most part as well. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't think it was anything special. Now, I see that there's like 3 or 4 different movies that are kind of like predecessors to this one, which I didn't watch and I probably won't watch, but yeah, nothing special. So let's just move on to up next. I believe also oh no, sorry, I was going to say also a 60 out of 100, that's incorrect, but a 64 out of 100 for Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Now, I got to watch this with Ryan, and he kind of helped me. He's been helping me get through these movies, explaining them to me. Of course, there's very interesting choices. And yeah, I did struggle to stay awake for like the first hour of this movie. I was doing pretty good for like the first 20 minutes, and then like the next 40 minutes, I fully was just in and out of sleep. So I do think I could probably rewatch this movie at some time. It would probably be a good thing to do. With that being said, I still didn't really enjoy this movie that much. I don't care for Zod, and it really just shows, in my opinion, how much better Zack Snyder's take on not only Superman, but Zod, and just the DC universe. It's just better with Zack Snyder, in my opinion. Nothing against Richard Donner. I know people love these movies, and I know they're pretty comic accurate from what I've been told and from what I can understand and see. But I am not a fan, really, of this Superman. And it seems like we're kind of going towards this way with the new David Cornsweet Superman. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, I just didn't really enjoy this movie that much. And I do think I could rewatch it. And I do think I will actually watch Superman 2, the theatrical release. Because I guess there's some very different scenes. But yeah, overall, one of my biggest complaints about this movie is the fact that anytime Superman, anything that goes wrong in Superman's life, he literally just reverses time, which is annoying and dumb, because people would complain about it for years with The Flash, and why is nobody complaining about it with Superman? I don't get it, you know? Anyways, let's just keep going. Up next, we have Despicable Me, which I don't think this movie is very good either. I do think the second one is the best of the franchise. So obviously with Despicable Me, I ranked it a 69 out of 100. I just lowered it 1 point because I just felt like it needed to be a 3-star. I don't think it deserved that 3.5 star. Although there were some things I enjoyed from the movie, I just don't think it should be a 3.5 star. I don't think it's a good movie. So gets lowered to a 69 out of 100. Not really going to spend any time on this one. So let's move on to Despicable Me 2, which I definitely did enjoy more. Lucy is awesome. She's a great addition. I really enjoy Lucy. And to be fair, I just think this is a better movie. The cast is really great as well. Shadow Benjamin Bratt, legend. Yeah, I mean, I ranked it a 71 out of 100. It's not like it's that much better than the first. I just think it's a little bit better, and I enjoyed my time with it just a little bit more. So, you know, let's move on to The Guilty, which was my first watch of the week. And, I mean, this was a really great thriller, or really good thriller, that I really enjoyed, with some very great acting from Jake Gyllenhaal. It's one of his best performances that I've seen thus far in his filmography, and granted I haven't seen a whole bunch, but I feel like I've seen like most of his best. Anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. It's definitely Anton Fuqua's, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. his best directed movie from what I've seen as well. I've only watched the Equalizer movies apart from that, which he has also directed. And yeah, this was definitely the standout of his filmography so far that I've seen. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite parts about this movie was guessing who was on the phone, which I did guess some of the characters, some of the actors. So that was pretty fun. I was glad to do that. And yeah, I mean, there was a really big plot twist in this, which I also was not expecting. So yeah, again, wonderfully acted, good directed, good direction, directing, and a good thriller. I really enjoyed this. Honestly, I'd recommend it. I know a lot of people are up and down on this one. I enjoyed it. I seem to be on the upper scale, obviously, but yeah, I'd recommend it. Give it a watch. With that being said, let's move on to really a great way to end the week. I have 4 really great movies actually to talk about for the rest of the video. So, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which one of Mel's best friends, this is her favorite movie, and I'm glad I finally got to watch this because it really was a great movie. Really talking about some deep and depressing themes, really about depression, loneliness, mental health, and of course trauma and how to deal with trauma. So that was very interesting. Even suicide, yeah. There's a lot of dark themes in this movie, but it's a really great coming of age that I really enjoyed. I ranked it an 88 out of 100. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect heading into this movie. I did not think it was going to be this depressing, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a pretty happy movie, so I was really wrong about that. I got pretty emotional at times as well, and overall, this is just a great movie. I ranked it an 88 out of 100, so it was really just beautiful, to say the least. So let's move on now to Black Klansman, which I ranked a 92 out of 100. This movie was amazing. This is my first Spike Lee movie, and I thought this was a very, very funny movie with great comedy, a great script, and really just an interesting plot that is based on a true story. So that was really cool, and I really enjoyed my time with this one as well. Really really makes me want to jump into Spike Lee's filmography. I seen when I was looking at his filmography, he's made a lot of movies, so that'd be pretty fun to take a look at. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the cast as well, and I just thought it was a kind of satire, but yet a funny political comedy thriller, and yeah, overall, just a great movie. I definitely recommend it. A 92 out of 100 from me, and that's number 3 this week. So let's move on to the top 2. At number 2, we have The Holdovers, which I am so sad I didn't watch this last year. I mean, this was amazing. It's a tremendous script with a very accurate showcase of the time period that was really, really well done, with some tremendous acting from all 3 of our leads. And I mean, Davine Joy Randolph really deserved that Oscar, to say the least. And honestly, Paul Giamatti, I wouldn't have been mad if he had won an Oscar for his performance in this as well. Honestly, really great. And I really enjoyed this movie. It seems like it would be a good comfort Christmas movie, so I'm excited to rewatch this probably around Christmas time later this year. Like I said, very amazing movie, a 94 out of 100. But it is no number 1, which is Interstellar. This is, I believe, my 3rd time watching this movie now. And yeah, I mean, I've watched it 3 times in about a year. This is my 2nd time watching it this year. And honestly, I mean, every time I watch this movie, I fall more and more in love with this movie. It gets better. It gets amazing. It gets more amazing. The twist is so good. The plot is so interesting to me. I know there's like a little fandom out there that just doesn't like this movie, but it's one of the best and most magical and beautiful scores out there as well. A true pioneer of sci-fi filmmaking. Like, I just don't understand the absolute sauce that Christopher Nolan has, because this movie is on a scale like no other. It truly is one of the biggest scales, and honestly, I mean, in my opinion, it's just probably the best sci-fi movie ever made. And it's truly wonderful. So a perfect 100 out of 100 for me, and it's quickly climbing the ranks as one of my favorite movies ever. So, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.